Hi, I'm Mike Gregory. This is all about the Deod Dental product line, product range. I've got Dr. Sam Labib and Bryn Thompson here, who've been co-developing this with us. They've been heroes, they've beta tested the stuff. And it's all come from Jai Ragbir from Deod Dental. So we've got this going since the end of 2023, and we're going to talk about the product. So it all started with the Deod Dental water bath. This is what everybody wanted, and this is what we came up with in a fairly short space of time. And then it really got rolling and we produced some other stuff. The great thing about this, it's been developed in the UK. So these guys are UK, I'm UK. Nobody's been paid saying this, by the way, guys. We're not on the payroll. We just love the unit. It's manufactured in the UK. It's been designed in the UK, trialled in the UK, a 2-year warranty. So the only thing we would say about this, guys, is, and there's always a temptation, that the inside of the water chamber doesn't look dissimilar to that. You cannot put water in here. You cannot put water in there. Otherwise, you're going to blow the unit up. You have to use the proper water chamber that takes the basket. So this is not meant to take water. This is dry heat. It says source is dry heat. You put whatever component you want inside it. So if you're going to put impression compound, you need the separate water bath that goes in it with the separate basket, and that drops in the unit. So that's the thing you've got to be careful of. Otherwise, a lovely unit. This is how we heat impression compound. And then we got clever and we thought, why don't we actually use something to melt wax? So this is for adjusting occlusal rims. This is great. You can actually melt wax on there and catch it in there. And Sam has got a nurse who just thinks this is magic.
Practically, this is brilliant, because rather than creating a mess in your surgery, which your nurse will curse you for, all the wax comes and gets collected in this silicone cup, which can easily be peeled away, removed, and then you get rid of the wax and sterilize it, and everything's good to go again. This was a absolute stroke of genius.
And Bryn would probably like to say something about this, because Bryn's nurse Sheila, who's quite famous for all sorts of things, doesn't like mess. So yeah, tell us about lack of mess, Bryn.
Well, apparently it's great. There's no wax all over the bench, coming off my paint stripper, wax knife and everything, and the plate here it's just an absolute joy when you have the wax rim melting on this. It just sort of floats off absolutely superbly. So this is almost just as good as the original product, which is fantastic. So yeah, this is one of my favourite bits.
Yeah, Bryn was almost lost for words when he saw this. He said the wax rim just floats on there.
Speechless.
Yeah, speechless. So just a magic product. And then it got even better. I said to Jai, what can we do next? Well, we use mirrors. And we need to heat them up, and if you heat them up in hot water, it's a pain. So basically, I think Sam's a big mirror man here. He takes a lot of photographs.
I do take a few intraoral photos, and not being able to have fogging of the mirror is amazing, as we all know. Rather than using a 3-in-1 to blow air onto the mirror, or having to put it in hot water and then dry it out, you've got a dry air chamber and a perfect setup for your slim intraoral millers and your wider ones. The photographs come out absolutely crisp. It is a perfect way as another use for the product.
And of course, the great thing about the product is it's just one common unit. So the bottom line is you take one component out, you drop another one in, press the appropriate program, and it produces the right sort of heat for the task in hand. So we do mirrors, we melt wax, we can melt compound. And again, whatever task we set Jai at Deod Dental comes up another one. So we thought, well, green stick, we love green stick. We guys all love green stick. Yeah. I think we'll agree.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, what are we going to do here? So we've got a green stick heater now. So we put syringes of green stick in, drop a stick in a syringe, single unit syringe, sterile one produced, put it in there, heats up, inject it onto the tray. No flames. Again, no mess. I think you'll agree. No mess. Clear up.
No mess. And certain practices will have a flame-free policy, that kind of thing. This is absolutely perfect at getting around that problem, and just makes life really easy.
And any dentist who's used one of those green sticks knows what it's like to have it overheated, fall on the glove, cause a lot of pain.
About that. That hurts.
So that really does.
Really does.
So having this, where you're able to inject it directly where you want it and with the amount that you need, ideal.
It's perfect. And I think with all the modules, the key thing is it's a uniform heat, which when you're trying to heat various things up, the problem can be sometimes just keeping that uniform heat. Like with a compound heater, you know, I've in the past just sort of boiled some water up and tried to do that. It's just a
Don't do
mess.
that, right?
So this way is perfect. Just keeps a uniform heat when you need it, for as long as you need it, on all the modules.
And the last thing that came along was the last task we set Jai. He can do anything. He's proved that. He can just churn anything out. So some guys like to heat their composite. So we've got this unit here. You can put your compule guns in. You can put syringes in. And Sam loves composite. Tell us about the bit that's hiding under the cover there, Sam.
So before the patient comes in the chair, you can prepare the unit with practically whatever you're going to be using when you're doing composite. If you're a syringe person, you can be using those. If you're a compule person, you can be using those. You can have your gun ready to go, and everything is sterilizable and autoclavable.
And your endodontics?
If you wanted as well, because you can regulate the temperature and set it to whatever you want it to be, if you are doing root canal treatments and endodontics and you want to warm up your hydroxide or your EDTA, again, you can set the temperature on this unit and load your syringes in here, and you can have them at the temperature you wish.
Bryn's now going to tell us why the wax heat is so clever.
So on this module here, we've got these wax heater inserts. So you take one of those out that's preheated, and the plastic holds the heat, and then you take your pre-cut sheet of wax that you're going to use to modify your tray with, and then you just close it on that, give it a squeeze, and then you just leave it for, well, it's not even
10 or 15, so chuck it back on the worktop, 10 or 15 seconds. You don't put it back in the unit, you don't need to put it back in the unit, you literally stick it on the worktop and the heat gets sucked out of the unit, heats the wax up, and the wax is soft and pliable within 10 seconds. And you can do that twice before it cools down too much.
It's just a perfect uniform heat. It's so much nicer than putting it through the flame. It's just exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. So yeah, this is pretty exciting.
Absolutely mind-boggling piece of engineering, this. I think all three of us were giggling when we saw it for the first time.
Really? Seriously,
it
you
was
can do that?
Absolutely mad.
So clever.
Yeah.
And the last thing, which was the thing I set Jai, the task at the beginning, the whole thing needs to be cross-infection compliant. So every single unit we use, medical grade polycarbonate, and whatever goes in there can come out of there, go through a washer disinfector and then through an autoclave. So the clean down's easy, the cross-infection compliance is there 100%, and the outside of the unit you just wipe down with sterile wipes, disinfectant wipes. So just a great addition to any surgery. And the footprint's tiny as well. I think you said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
They take up no space on the worktop.
Absolutely. Really critical when you've got a smaller surgery. You've got one small unit with a small footprint that can cover a multitude of jobs. So you can keep your bench space as clear as you need it to be.
And
good point.
The modules, I was going to say, stack away nicely in the cupboards as well. So it's really good on space.
And as Sam pointed out at lunchtime today, the power supply. This is great because it's basically a kettle lead. So where we are in the world, it's a single plug that goes in the back, and it's whatever your mains voltage is. You haven't got to worry about the fact that it's going to have to run off a 110 transformer or something like that. No USB-C, USB, nothing like that. Just a robust plug that goes in the back of the unit, and that's not going to come unplugged by accident. You're not going to lose your power, and everything's just going to function beautifully.
And from a principal's point of view, whether you're an associate trying to convince your principal to invest, or if you're a principal yourself and you are sort of looking after the pennies, the value for money for this is amazing when you think at how much you can get from one product. Having a product that is so diverse and can do so many different things is invaluable in dentistry.
And all you got to do is go onto the website. These are direct order, ship anywhere in the world for the same price. So just log onto the website and just order.
It's the ultimate dental multi-unit.